This story is called Wemberly Worried, and it's a really good one to read to your kids. You can read it to them anytime, but it's really good to read to them before school starts, like at the beginning of the year, or even if they're just really worried about something. And it's by Kevin Hinkes. He usually writes stories that include mouse characters. And so whenever I'm reading to my kids, I always let them know Wembley Worry. This is our title page. And right here, there's only one name listed. So this person is our author and illustrator. An author is somebody who writes the stories, and an illustrator is somebody who draws the stories. And you can even ask, what does author mean to write? Wembley worried about everything. Big things, and you can point out here that it's showing that she's talking. We have the line pointing here, and this is what she's saying. I wanted to make sure you were still here. She has a flashlight shining in her parents' face while they're sleeping. Little things, and so we have the juice that's being spilled, and things in between. Mama, what if I shrink? Wembley worried in the morning, she worried at night, and she worried throughout the day. You can talk about how you can see her face. Her face looks like she's worrying all the time. You worry too much, said her mother. You worry, or when you worry, I worry, said her father. Worry, 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 said her grandmother. Too much worry. And grandma's wearing a shirt that says, go with the flow, and she looks like she's someone who's very happy all the time. At home, Wembley worried about the tree in the front yard. What if it falls on our house? And the crack in the living room wall. What if it gets bigger and something comes out of it? And the noises the radiators made. What if there's a snake inside? And whenever I'm reading and my kids don't know what something is, I explain to them. So a radiator, a lot of kids may not know what that is, but it makes heat. And so this is where the pressure is released and it makes that sound just like a snake. At the playground, Wembley worried about the chains on the swings and the bolts on the slide and the bars on the jungle gym. Too rusty, too loose, too high. And always she worried about her doll Petal. Shouldn't Petal have a car seat too? Petal's lost forever. I found her, sweetie. I'll wait for you, Petal. And Petal's in the wash. Don't worry, said her mother. Don't worry, said her father. But Wembley worried. She worried and worried and worried. And so you ask him too, what letter do you see a lot of? I'm looking here, I see a lot of words start with W. And so we start to see that. And so it causes a rhythm. And so it's not rhyming words, it's called an alliteration, but it gives a kind of like a rhyme, a smoothness to the sounds. And so the author purposely chooses those to make sure that they go together. When Wembley was especially worried, she rubbed Petal's ears. Wembley worried that if she didn't stop worrying, Petal would have no ears left at all. And you see how the pictures as she progresses, and she's happy, 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 happy. And then you start to notice, oh, she notices that she has that worry that sinks in. On her birthday, Wembley worried that no one would come to her party. See, said her mother, there was nothing to worry about. But then Wembley worried that there wouldn't be enough cake. And so this little boy here is saying, this is the best present ever. And she's all excited. She's like, I wish I had my birthday today. You can talk about how everybody looks all happy. And then there's Wembley. On Halloween, Wembley worried there would be too many butterflies in the neighborhood parade. See, said her father, there was nothing to worry about. But then Wembley worried because she was the only one. And again, everybody looks so happy and having fun, and there's Wembley worrying. You worry too much, said her mother. When you worry, I worry, said her father. Worry, 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 said her grandmother. Too much worry. And now Grandma has the shirt with the happy face, and here she has the sun that's all happy, but then the rain cloud that's all sad, and it says, take it as it comes. Soon Wembley had a new worry, school. Wembley worried about the start of school more than anything she had ever worried about before. The dad saying, I love school. And so that's the thing too, is a lot of kids do worry about the first days of school, even if they've already been to school. And so this really normalizes that anxiety, that worriness that they feel, that it is normal to worry about things. By the time the first day arrived, Wembley had a long list of worries. What if no one else has spots? What if no one else wears stripes? What if no one else brings a doll? What if the teacher is mean? What if the room smells bad? What if they make fun of my name? What if I can't find the bathroom? What if I hate the snack? What if I have to cry? And so we start to see that the words go from smaller and then they get bigger. So as we're doing that, the author wants us to put more emphasis onto those words. And then we start to see that they're making a bigger and a bigger thing. They're more of a focus. And so when we read it getting louder and louder and even faster and faster. So the author uses this on purpose. He uses the bigger words getting bigger and bigger. Don't worry, said her mother. Don't worry, said her father. But Wemberly worried. She worried and worried and worried. She worried all the way there. And again, a lot of emphasis because the words are a lot bigger. But then here's Grandma. Have fun. It's just a little heart shirt on now. When Wemberly's parents talked to the teacher, Mrs. Peachum, Wemberly looked around the room. Then Mrs. Peachum said, Wemberly, there's someone I think you should meet. And so when your kids look at this picture here, they can look around and they'll probably make a prediction that she's someone that she'll probably meet because she looks like Wemberly and she even has a little doll too. Her name was Jewel. She was standing by herself. She was wearing stripes. She was holding a doll. And again, the author uses the repeating of the sentences here, the starting. At first, Wemberly and Jewel just peeked at each other. This is Petal, said Wemberly. This is Niblet, said Jewel. Petal waved. Niblet waved back. Hi, said Petal. Hi, said Niblet. I rub her ears, said Wemberly. I rub her nose, said Jewel. So you can see here, like, what does your kid predict will happen next? And as we're looking at these pictures, start to see that the first they're not even looking at each other and they're far apart, and then they get closer and closer and closer and closer. And so they may make a prediction that they'll be friends, and they can say because they have things that are the same, that they're getting closer and closer. But they're taking things from the story and they're making the predictions about it, and that's what you want them to be doing. Throughout the morning, Wemberly and Jewel sat side by side and played together whenever they could. Petal and Niblet sat side by side too. And so you see them sitting side by side. So even the dolls are becoming friends. Wemberly worried, but no more than usual, and sometimes even less. So they both look kind of worried still, but everyone else is having fun. Before Wemberly knew it, it was time to go home. And you say, how does Wemberly look now? She looks really happy. Her and her friend look like they're having fun, and they're playing. Come back tomorrow, called Miss Peachum, as the students walked out the door. You see them all here? Wemberly turned and smiled in a wave. I will, she said. Don't worry. And so it comes full circle. So now she's such a pro at not worrying. But even look at the Petal who she couldn't leave with, go without, is even being held by someone else. And they're all happy together. It's a really good story, and kids love to listen to the story over and over again.